Well, hello and good morning to everybody. This is the New Health Conversation podcast. It is live, it is not pre recorded. And one of the things that we devote ourselves to at the New Health Conversation is only to give you medical proof. We don't give you opinions, we don't make sensationalize them. For all the censors that are on, and I appreciate the censors, we don't do anything that is our opinion. Everything we're sharing is from peer-reviewed medical studies that are in the public domain. That's very important. We do not make up an wow. Hello, Lloyd. Hello, user 102, user 271, classless and Sister Sparkle. Alex joined. Good morning, everybody. I would appreciate it if you can put some taps on the screen. Let's get some likes going right away. I'm sure you're all looking at that and going, what? What? It's not a misprint. It is not photoshopped. It's been altered in no way. She lost 21.2 pounds and 38 inches in 30 days, and she was not allowed to exercise. Nobody is allowed to exercise on this in the medical studies. Sorry, people do exercise once they do it. So Bryce, hello, Christina, hello, Glendon. So what we're going to share with you today is how in the world did she do this? Now, the thing that's so different right away about what we do, we have 10 peer-reviewed human trial medical studies backing up everything you're going to see that we're going to share with you today. Nothing is made up. We don't have opinions. We don't give you a scientific paper. We're giving you medical peer-reviewed studies. Now, also, we provide for all of you a free website. You can see it there in red, the New Health Conversation. Now, what's on that website? Nothing to buy, no buy buttons. The only thing there is the medical proof backing up behind these incredible stories that we're going to share with you today. And not only that, we're going to share, and it's not a diet, it has nothing to do with counting calories. This will stun you when you really learn. I'd love for any of you to tell me, put in the let's see, I think that's We the People, say hi. No Bovine, Judith, Brian, Faithful, Amy, Christina, Kodera, Latino, Kodera, Mimi Theme. Wow, we got one like. I have one like. Come on, can you tap on the screen? Let's get some more likes as we get going. So let me review one more time. Here's what we're going to do for you today. Number one, we are going to show you these before and after pictures. But then what we're going to do, once we show you the before and after pictures, we're going to explain to you how this came about, who invented it. It was not invented by me. It is not a diet. It was invented by the top weight loss, nutrition, physiologists in the world. After 40 years of 100 studies, thousands of people, they cracked the code on obesity, on weight, and on your health. More importantly, on your health. As you'll see as we go through some of the before and afters, some of the medical transformations in as little as 30 days are almost they're almost like you're not going to believe it. I understand I'm creating skepticism immediately just by showing you that. But would anybody like to put, let's see, NMS, Melissa, Tita, Karen, Tam, Patty, Debbie, Jennifer, Doll, Paul, Janet, and let's see, other people, Janet, like the live. So again, can we get some taps? I only have 2 likes. Granted, it's only been a couple minutes that we got started here. So let me review real quickly and then we'll really get rolling. So we are the New Health Conversation. It's our brand. It's the website. And the only thing on the website is the medical proof. We don't give you opinions. If you want opinions, there's plenty of people on Facebook that'll do that. So first, what I want to do, I'm going to roll you through some of the other before and after pictures just so you can get a feel for how amazing this is and how it could change your life. And really, after this podcast, or after you, especially if you go to the website, you'll never count calories again. You'll understand it's ridiculous to count calories when your body has no idea what a calorie is. Hello, Brandy, Zen, Dejana, Patty, Lemuns, Lori, Yandi, Fallen Surfer Dude. Oh, you were on last week. I saw you before. Noel, Gormley, lots and lots of people joining us. Can we get some more taps? Just tap on your phone screen and the likes come up. It really helps in the algorithms. We want to make this the biggest site on all of internet. Look, there's plenty of people out there that are doing these grow rooms and it's fun and there's music. But ask yourself, are they doing anything that can change the rest of your life? Let's get really serious. 80% of America's overweight, 50% are obese, 50% are pre-diabetic, 50% of our kids are overweight, and about a third of them now are pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetes, which 35 years ago in children didn't exist. There were like no cases, okay? So we're in a terrible, terrible situation. And yet, what do we keep doing? Calories in, calories out, keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, celebrity endorsements, the shots, all these things. Are any of them actually working in the long run? So the other thing, so here are the 3 things we're doing. We're showing you the befores. We'll explain how they did it. And then we're going to show you the medical evidence. People like Harvard Medical School, Medicare, saying, stop counting calories. It's over. It's done. It won't work. It can't work. It's one of the most ridiculous things we've ever done because a calorie is not a real thing, okay? We'll get into that in a moment. So let me first go through. So Sheila, let's see, who else did I miss? Tevion, Fluffy Feet. Let's see, encourage viewers to share. Yes, David, we're going to tap on the screen to get more patty cake. All right, so let's look. I'm going to go briefly through some of the others. Now, this is, so imagine she lost 5 pounds a week. It was not allowed to exercise, but look at the inches. That's from her neck to her ankles. Look at her face, look at her arms, look at her stomach area, okay? Now, the next one, Julie, this is 35 pounds in 37 days. Look at the change in her body transformation. Now, unless you think we were lying, we faked it, we photoshopped it, which we didn't, who has ever seen anything like that in 37 days with absolutely no exercise whatsoever? Look at her face, her arms, look at her stomach area, look at her legs. She shrank. And we'll explain all of that to you in just a moment, I promise. Now, let's go to the next one. Let's take a look at some of the men. How about this? That's an older gentleman, 40.8 pounds, 52.5 inches from his neck to his ankles. Least important part of his story. Look at his blood work. Look at the lab work before and after. A1C from 8.4 to 6.4. And how about the triglycerides? 242 to 124. That's in 30 days. Everyone, 30 days. And then let's look at Andy here. How about 45? That's 11 pounds a week, 60 inches in 30 days. And again, look at his lab work from 7.9 to 6.2, LDL from 120 to 59. Has anyone ever seen anything like this before? Now, the last one is the daughter of a friend of mine who's a realtor. When you see this picture, you're going to be stunned, I think anyway. She lost 60 pounds, 60 in 3 months. That's 5 pounds a week for 3 straight months. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her stomach area. Again, not Photoshop, not AI. This is, and it's all backed by these peer-reviewed human trial studies. Not only did they prove that it works, but it's safe. And this is published in 10 of the biggest medical journals in the world. They backed it up. It's absolute proof. You'll be hard-pressed to find any diet with even one study. And when I show you the results of some of these diet studies, you'll be shocked at how ineffective they are long-term. So let's get into the most important question that everybody has right away. How in the world did she do that? Okay, so let's go back, just bear with me for a minute. It was invented by what are considered to be they're recognized as the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. They had done 40 years of research. They'd conducted over 100 medical studies, thousands of people, and they came to a couple of conclusions. So number one, every diet out there, people lost weight initially. Notice the language, initially. But they found that every person, every time, gained back all their weight or more. And the biggest thing that they found was across the board, it didn't matter what the name of the diet was, 25 to 40% of the weight they were losing was lean muscle mass. So something was wrong. They looked at from keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, fasting, water fasting. They looked at the Cornish diet, the Zone diet, lose weight for your blood type, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, on and on and on. In 40 years, you can imagine how many studies they did. So here's what they came up with. If we were going to have people lose weight, what we had been doing wasn't working. Because all a diet is, there's nothing to do with counting calories, by the way. That's complete nonsense. For those of you who don't know, a calorie is just a measurement. Excuse me, it's the amount of heat it takes to raise a gram of water 1 degree Celsius. It's nothing less and nothing more. So all these people out there, every diet out there, I think you'd all agree, is some form of counting calories. Forget that. All a diet is, you're reducing the amount of food you're consuming. When you do that, you're also reducing the amount of nutrition. Remember, this is what the researchers are saying now. That was the fatal flaw. Because when you reduce the amount of food and reduce the amount of nutrition, at some point, the brain figures you're starving to death nutritionally. So what does it do? It panic modes, shuts down any energy coming from your fat cells, and turns to your muscles for fuel. And so doing, it does two of the most unhealthy things you could ever do to yourselves. Number one, it slows down your metabolism. It's very specific now, not your metabolism when you're working on your running, but what's called your basal metabolic rate. That's the rate at which you burn calories when you're resting, sitting at your computer now, or sleeping, right? That's the 23 hours a day that really controls your weight and your health, okay? Now, that what happens is eventually the weight loss trickles to nothing, then you plateau, then you come off the diet and you gain everything back, but you're making yourself unhealthy. Okay, so what they said, can we give her and everybody else, we're going to give them less food, but our goal is we need to find food groups with literally less food by volume, but more nutrition. Okay, that's what they did. And they put together a food list, a grocery list that you literally would take to your grocery store of fats, carbs, proteins, etc. But here's what was so different about it. Instead of giving her calorie recommendations on the food she was consuming, they gave her serving sizes. This is really important, okay? Get away from the calories and start to realize about the serving size. Now, only 30% of the food she consumed came from the grocery store, okay? Everybody got that? The other 70% came from 5 food groups that other researchers had found. Because these top researchers, they don't have a company, they don't have any products, all right? But they figured out what food combinations might do this. Remember, it was a theory at first. So these other researchers had found 5 food groups in Russia, in Mongolia, in Tibet, in South America, New Zealand, represented huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. So now they had what she had was a month's worth of food, 30% from her grocery store that she got, and 70% from these foods from around the world. Then they created 2 completely new ways of consuming the food. 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. She started with the most perfect meal, that was breakfast. Lunch from the grocery store list, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner of these 5 most perfect foods from around the world. That was 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. It's called protein pacing. That's what the researchers called it, not me. I didn't invent this. Then 2 days a week, she did something, this will spin all of you out of control. She did intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store and only these 5 foods. But this time, they had her eating 8 meals a day, 8 times. Every hour and a half to 2 hours she was eating. Look at the results. Those are the results. Not Photoshop, not AI. Those are the results. And they realized, oh my gosh, we've cracked the code. The studies, which were actually started, some of them 13 years ago, because a human study, not only do they take a lot of money, they take a long time before they actually get into the public domain. They're now in the public domain. They've all pretty much been published in the last 14 or 16 months. It's made, diets are obsolete. Do you get it? I don't care what diet you're on. You can get mad at me. You can argue with me. You can do whatever you want to do. With 80% of America overweight, 50% obese, 50% pre-diabetic, it gets worse than that even, because I've got a big study right here. Let me read to you from Johns Hopkins Medical School. So you think we're doing well? Well, Johns Hopkins study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. They estimate 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? What are you doing? You're following these influences. Nice people, medical doctors or a chiropractor or a dietitian or a nutritionist or workout person or a weight loss coach or a health coach. What are they telling you to do? Calories in, calories out. And how's that working? We're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I have the trend line right here for you. So this is the actual numbers from why people, what's going on with the weight loss situation. So in 2000, we had 66% of the population overweight or obese. By 2010, it was 70% of us overweight or obese. By 2020, it was 78.5. And the latest in 2030, it says it's going to be 80 in less than 5 years. 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. Do any of you think that diets work? Really? I'd love for you to. Now, I know somebody's going to come out and say, oh, I lost 50 pounds. Great. But up to 40% of what you lost was lean muscle mass. And when I show you the studies showing you not just that you're going to gain back the weight you lost, but 2/3 of you are going to end up weighing more than what you started. That's why the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's not a pun. This is really something. I mean, you're showing all these photos, but you're not telling. Brandy, didn't I just explain that to you? I'm sorry. Get on with it. What's the process? I already explained it. So Brandy and Michigander, did you not hear how she did what she did? Let me explain it again. This is a new process, protocol. Well, not new. They invented it about 12 or 13 years ago, but the medical studies proved that before they could get published, it took that long. So here's what they did, okay? They figured out that the problem with every diet was that when you reduce the amount of food you're consuming, that's all a diet is, you're reducing nutrition. So the researchers set out, could they find food groups that would represent less amount of food but more nutrition? So what they did, they created a food list that you would get. Otherwise, go on a diet and lose a half a pound a week, okay? Let me know how that turns out, okay? So what they did, they created food lists. Only 30% of what they consumed came from the grocery store, proteins, fats, carbs, etc. But instead of giving her calorie counts, they gave her serving sizes, right? So that was 30% of what she consumed. The other 70% came from 5 foods that aren't available in your grocery store. These foods came from Russia, from Mongolia, from Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represented huge amounts of nutrition, but small amounts of food. So now they had the ingredients, right? 30% from the grocery store, regular food, and these 5 food groups from around the world. Then they created 2 new ways for them to consume the food. 5 days a week, everybody had 4 meals a day. They started with breakfast was just these foods from around the world. Lunch came from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from these foods from around the world. Then 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. On those days, no food from the grocery store at all, only these 5 foods, but this time 8 times a day. So she was having something about every hour and a half to 2 hours. The results speak for themselves. The other thing, you cannot show me a diet with 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies. The studies on diets that I'll share with you are pitiful. You're all headed down a road at 100 miles an hour and there's a brick wall, you can't see it, you're going to crash into it. All the research is going to show you that not only they're saying 2/3 of people who go on diets end up weighing more than when they started. Now, the other thing that we offer to all of you is a free website. It's free to go there. There's nothing to buy. There's no buy buttons. You'll notice there in red, the new health conversation. Notice right above it, free coaching, because you've never done anything like this before. So Michigander or whoever, what are the foods? So why are we getting the 5 food groups? You're getting them from these suppliers. So what the coaches do is they'll get you set up with 3 different things. One, here's the grocery list you got to take to the store, but only 30% of what you're going to consume comes from the store. They show you how to buy. You buy nothing from the coaches, nothing from the researchers. You buy directly from the suppliers who supplied the 5 food groups from around the world that you can't buy at your grocery store, okay? And then they set you up and show you exactly what to do on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, you also get what the researchers developed. You can all see it here, called the Blueprint for Success. This is all free. And what's in here, all these yellows are videos from the researchers explaining to you, this is why it's not a diet, this is why it's safe, this is how it works. This is not some simple, if you want some simple plan, go do paleo, go do keto, watch these influencers that come on and tell you how these magically you can lose 20 pounds in a month and most of it's fat, which is a complete lie. Do you understand that on any diet or any exercise program, there's no such thing as burning fat? You're born with a certain number of fat cells and you die with the same number of fat cells unless you do liposuction or surgery. So all this nonsense about burning fat is total crap. It's not a real thing, okay? What we provide to you is nothing. There's nothing on that website to buy. Only if you like what you see, you can scroll down and get a coach that'll explain everything to you. Because we don't know anything about you. We have kids as young as 2 doing parts of this. We have a lady 91. We have a man with a heart transplant. We have people with no thyroids, people with gallbladder transplant. No gallbladders, kidney transplants. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or making any medical claims. All we're doing is showing you exactly what they did in these 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies, which, by the way, on the website, the studies are there. You can go and see them. You can click on them and go to it. Nothing is our opinion. I don't want you to believe me, okay? I'm the researcher of the researchers. It's not my research, but we're bringing it to all of you. Unless you want to go on these crazy, stupid diets and maybe lose a half a pound a week. I mean, let's look at this. That's 35 pounds in 37 days on that lady right there. Look at the change in her body composition. Do any of you have anything like that? Period? Anything even close to that? Let's see. How can we? We get it. Lady Kaleidoscope. Okay. I want you to all be comfortable that we are not here to convince you and we're not here to sell you anything. We're here to educate you. Look, we all got coached. All right. So the people that are coaching you, they're volunteering to show you how to do it because it's not some simple thing. Yes, you have the blueprint, but we're in such a high-tech world now. We need some high touch when it comes to our own health, don't we? What, do you want to talk to a computer? Oh, well, check this and do that. And no. Maybe we're stupid. Maybe we're crazy. But wait till I show you some of the other before and afters, the medical proof. So look at this man, older gentleman, 40 pounds and 52 inches in a month. That's 10 pounds, a little over 10 pounds a week. But look at his lab work. Everybody, look at that. A1C, 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides, 242 to 124. Excuse me, in a month. In 30 days, not 30 weeks. And then Andy is younger. Look at this guy. 45 pounds, 60 inches in a month. That's 11 pounds a week. And look at his lab work, A1C 7.9 to 6.2, LDL 120 to 59. Any of you, how long would you give yourselves to lose 45 pounds? Or in this case, how about 20 pounds? The least I've gotten estimate is 3 months, 5 months, 6 months to lose 20 pounds. You know what they tell you in a diet. Don't lose more than a pound a week because it's unhealthy. We concur. This is not a diet. As a matter of fact, the main reason to do this is not even to lose weight. So again, here comes, what are the foods? Okay, we get it. Okay, what's the website? Let me show you again. Do you all see it there in red, right above my head? The New Health Conversation. It's that simple. Don't you think we need one? The New Health Conversation. Look, we show you everything up front. So like you don't have to get a coach to see the proof. The coach is there because we have people what? That are on high blood pressure medication or they're diabetics or who knows, all these. So a 2-year-old is not going to do the same thing as a 91-year-old woman, let's say, or a 91-year-old woman is not going to do the same thing as a 40-year-old woman. So it's really tailored to leveraging this. I mean, this took 40 years for these researchers to figure this out. It almost sounds too simple, but it wasn't. Because remember, they're the top weight loss, nutrition, physiologists in the world. They're the ones that invented it, not me. And it took them 40 years, and you could say it was simple. The problem with all diets, you reduce the quantity of your food. Well, what else are you reducing? Nutrition. And when the brain figures out not enough nutrition, it freaks out and begins to make you unhealthy by first using your muscles for fuel, slowing down your metabolism. But more importantly, and much worse, when you lose lean muscle, it slows down your own immune system. These darn diets are making you unhealthy. You can believe whatever you want. It feels great to be in your skinny jeans temporarily. And I know now we got graduations, we got weddings starting, we got summer coming. Everybody wants to get it together. I understand that. But again, who can tell me a diet that is, who would be honest? You want to lose 20 pounds, let's say, okay, 20. I'd say that's the low average, the low average, not below average. How long would you give yourself? Any of you, if you're honest, put it in the chat. Also, can we get some more likes? We only have 175 likes, and I've been on for 23 minutes. Come on, let's really go with this. Let's roll here. Roll Tide, I guess it is. Whatever. So, Lady Kaleidoscope, hopefully, what are the foods and what time? Okay, now again, King, that's a great question. That's why you get coached. That's why you get this Blueprint Success, which shows you serving sizes, the food lists. I mean, it's all laid out, but you're not alone. This is not like, oh, well, you're smart enough to do it by yourself. Years ago, before we realized we needed to explain to people who did it on their own got 25% of the benefit of the people who ended up getting coached. So we said, we don't want you to, why waste your time and your effort? It'd be like, imagine you could join the gym and you get a free trainer. You wouldn't do it? It's not fair to you to do it and not make sure you understand. You've never done anything like this. It's not just so simple. Oh, here's a chart and you have this at this. It's way beyond that. We provide it all for you, but are you interested? I mean, hello, everybody. What about that? Do you want that? Who wants that? Or do you want to go on these crazy diets, making yourself unhealthy and maybe losing a half a pound a week, maybe, and then you gain it all back? Now, I want to show you some medical proof, and we'll come back to this in a moment, I promise. Does anyone on here think diets work long term? Let's look at the medical proof, okay? Let's start first with Harvard Medical School. Title of the study, Stop Counting Calories. Here's what they admitted, that they were wrong, that all of you have been told. Most people have been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. cut calories 3,500, you lose a pound. But as it turned out, experts are learning that this decades-old strategy is totally misguided. This is Harvard Medical School. It's not my opinion. They went on to say the idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not just antiquated, it's just wrong. You need to concentrate on what's in the food, not how much food you're consuming. That's Harvard Medical School. Now, another big study titled The Science Behind Why Diets Don't Work. That's not my opinion, okay, everybody? Let me read from the study. That's because we only give you medical proof. That's all we're giving you. They said, despite all the ads that say otherwise, it's very rare for people to lose weight and keep it off for good. Not only that, 2/3 of people who diet regain more weight than they originally lost, ending up at a higher weight than when they started. A review of more than 30 long-term studies showed that going on a diet actually causes weight gain. They went on to say, the more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. So not only does dieting, calories in, calories out, not work for the long-term weight loss, but it's associated with binge eating, eating disorders, and long-term weight gain. You're going on a diet, 2/3 you're going to weigh more than when you started. What the hell are you doing? Pardon my French. This is crazy. It's nuts what we're doing. And almost everybody on here is just some form of what I'm talking about. But let's go to Medicare for crying out. They just came out on this. They said, Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. They went on to say, diets are not the answer. What? Diets are not the answer. You're all on diets, and Medicare said they're not the answer. Because here's why. They said, our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets, calories in, calories out, to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies show that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on their diets. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets, calories in, calories out, lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. That's Medicare telling you, everyone. But what are you all going to do? The majority of you are going to go back to paleo or keto or time-restricted eating or Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or Nutrisystem. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, everybody. Now, let's go to a more damning study. This is the Journal of the American Medical Association. Remember, nothing that I'm sharing with you is anything but backed by medical proof. This study was 12 months. And they looked at 48 different studies, 7,286 people. The aim behind this study, here's the title, Comparison of Weight Loss Among Named Diet Programs in Overweight and Obese Individuals. After 12 months, they named all the major diets: keto, paleo, Mediterranean, time-restricted eating, fasting, water fasting, Cornish zone, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, across the board. All the major diets. 12-month study. And what they found, the most amount of weight loss on any diet to the least amount of weight loss in a year, the difference in weight loss was 10 ounces in a year. Do you think your diet's going to work? Hello? And right here, they said the weight loss over the course of a year was 16 pounds, and about up 25 to 40% of what people lost was lean muscle mass. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but you're chasing smoke. You're chasing rainbows. When Medicare's telling you that 2/3 of you on any diet, counting, restricting calories, you're going to weigh more than you lost, but maybe you don't want to believe it. It's up to you. Do whatever you want to do. I'm not your boss. But yet, you can go for free and see the medical proof on that website, including an interview with the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world. And you know one of the things he said in the interview? That he and his team would never recommend to any patient again, ever, any form of traditional diet. They literally said it would be unethical. Why, Peter, would we put people on diets that would take them 8 weeks to lose lean muscle, slow down their metabolism, impact their immune system, when in fact we had people losing weight in a week that took 8 weeks on diets, but in a month they were losing the kind of weight that took a year. They lost no water weight, and they gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass in 30 days, and no one was allowed to exercise. They even made them wear Fitbits. Now, they weren't against exercise, but they wanted to isolate it to prove this protocol that they invented, what it would do if someone didn't even exercise. So again, let's see what else people ask me. What's the cost? Losing weight is just, oh, Shane, oh my God, Shane, I couldn't wait for someone to come on and talk about that ridiculous argument. Let me get you the medical proof here, Shane, just so you understand. Thermodynamics does not apply to human beings. I'm just sorry to tell you that, but give me a moment. I'll get you the medical explanation here, just so you understand. the misinformation that's actually out there, because it's just, okay, here we go. So Shane, listen to me. This is not my opinion, okay? Everyone, we get this argument all the time about thermodynamics, okay? For decades, the conventional wisdom surrounding weight loss has been dominated by a simplistic formula: eat less, move more. The advice has been framed around the idea that calories as a unit of energy can be managed like a straightforward equation: calories in, calories out. But if this is true, then why have we become fatter and sicker as a society? The answer lies in the deep biological complexities that govern our bodies. At the heart of the calorie theory is the first law of thermodynamics, which asserts that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. This principle applies to a closed-loop system where energy is conserved. However, the human body is not a closed-loop system. It constantly interacts with the environment, expelling heat, sweating, and release waste. This makes the first law in the isolation and an incomplete explanation for how we gain or lose weight. They're talking thermodynamics. Now let's go to the second part. Simply put, our body is constantly losing energy in ways that can be captured by basic thermodynamics. This is where the second law of thermodynamics comes into play, which describes an entropy, the measure of energy that cannot be used for work. In biological systems, energy dissipation and inefficiency are constant. Thermodynamics doesn't apply, my friend. I'm sorry. You're 1,000,000% wrong. Go look it up. Thermodynamics is a closed-loop system where the energy is maintained. That doesn't happen in the human body. Only a small percentage of what we actually consume is being used as energy. The rest is being dissipated. So that's out the window. Okay, let's put that to rest. Okay, you can, whatever opinion you have, that's fine. You're entitled to it. Let's have a civil conversation. Thermodynamics does not apply to human beings, and calories in, calories out does not work. I mean, well, you got Medicare saying Medicare's search for effective obesity treatment. Diets are not the answer. In a review of long-term calorie-restricted, calories-in, calories-out diet, assessing whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity, the studies show that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on these diets. In summary, there is little support for the notion that diets, calories in, calories out, lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. That's Medicare, okay? I mean, you can tell people whatever you want, do whatever you want, do thermodynamics and lose a pound a week. Or people can do this. How about 5 pounds a week? How about 38 inches in a month? How about Curtis losing 10 pounds a week, 40? But look at his medical changes. That's not thermodynamics. I mean, it's just nonsense. Nonsense, sorry. But 10 pounds a week, and look, he's an older gentleman. Look at his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides 242 to 124. You don't have to, I don't want you to believe me. We're providing you a free medical website. You can go there and see the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world talk about these diets are over, finished, done. My God, we have 80% of America overweight, 50% are obese, 50% pre-diabetic. Really, does anyone really believe that diets work long term? All the studies say no, they don't. 2/3 of people end up weighing more than when they started. I've got another one here that's titled, that's what it's titled. Why you shouldn't count calories, thermodynamics. No. While counting calories and restricting calories in our research can help you lose weight in the short term, the approach has never been proven to keep weight off long term. What's even worse, 2/3 of people who try to count, restrict their calories, gain back more weight than they lost. I've got 10 studies saying that all these diets, calories in, calories out, thermodynamic, whatever the hell you want to call it, they don't work. They don't work long term. That's not my opinion. I mean, we're looking in less than 5 years at 86% of Americans overweight and obese, and all these diets are based on thermodynamics. I think it's time to abandon that approach or do whatever the hell you want. But why? I mean, come on. Andy, 45 pounds in 60 days, that's 11 pounds a week. You're lucky to lose a pound a week on any of these crazy diets. They don't work, despite really nice people on the internet. So let's see. What work? You meant what? I think, Leslie, what works? That's what you're asking me, right? So let's go back to Kristen and talk about how did she do this. Look at that, everybody. Who would be happy with losing 21 pounds in a month, 5 pounds a week with no exercise? Any of you be happy with that? So what did they do? It was invented by the top medical weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world for 40 years. They're ranked #1. They did 100 studies, thousands of people to come up with this. What they figured out was this: a diet is nothing more. Forget calorie counting, forget thermodynamics. It's all nonsense. When you go on a diet, you're lowering the amount of food you're consuming, and what are you lowering? Nutrition. which is the only thing your body runs on. When your brain figures out there's not enough nutrition to run the organs, it freaks out, thinks you're starving to death nutritionally, which you are. And guess what it does? It stops accessing the fuel in your fat cells and turns to your muscles for fuel. And as the body uses your muscles to fuel, it's very inefficient. It slows down your metabolism. And it's not just your regular metabolism when you're working out and running. It's what's called your basal metabolic rate, the rate at which you burn calories when you're sleeping or resting. But the other thing it's doing to you, thermodynamics, calories in, calories out, it's slowing down your own immune system, for crying out loud. We're making ourselves completely unhealthy by going on these stupid diets, counting calories, calories in, calories out. At least the experts finally agree. We were wrong. What you're being told is wrong. These scientists, my gosh, look what they did for us. And they don't have any products. They don't have a company. They don't sell anything. This is not lotions, potions, pills, capsules. It doesn't work like that. So what they did, they said, wait a minute, can we give people less food but increase nutrition? That was the theory. It sounds pretty simple. It's not. So they put together very specific food groups, 30% of what she consumed in a month. She got a grocery list to take to the grocery store. Proteins, fats, carbs. But it wasn't based on calories. It was based on serving size. And that's very important because this is not a quantity issue. It's a quality issue. It's a nutritional density issue, right? So these researchers picked, you get the list. You actually get a list. Let me find, where's my notes? They developed, this is what they gave the people in the studies. It's called the Blueprint to Success. And it's a series of, all these yellow are videos from the researchers. What foods you eat, when you eat, etc. It's all laid out for you, but let me keep going. So the other 70% of the food she got was not from the United States. It was from other researchers who'd found foods in Russia, in Mongolia, in Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represented huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity. Remember what they want to do. Can we give people less food, but increase nutrition? It was a theory. They thought it was going to work, but they didn't know. Okay? So those were the ingredients. Then they developed two totally new ways of consuming food. One was called protein pacing, where 5 days a week she had 4 meals a day. She started with these nutrients from these 5 foods around the world. Lunch from the grocery store, your list, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from these 5 foods around the world. So 5 days a week, she had 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time-restricted eating. On those days, no food from the grocery store, only these 5 food groups from around the world. But this time, they had her eating 8 times a day. She was having something every hour and a half to 2 hours. Look at the results, everyone. Look at the results. I mean, you can think we photoshopped that or we AI'd it. We didn't. This is real. Look at Julie. This is even more dramatic. Look at her face, her arms, her stomach, her legs. She shrank. Where's the loose skin? There isn't any. We have people on the website. Let me show you all the websites. It's free to go there. We won't even contact you if you go there. You'll see people there, men and women, lost 100 pounds. No loose skin. What? Go look for yourself. It's free, and we won't contact you if you go there. The only way we'll contact you is if you like what you see, scroll down, free coaching. You get a free coach because you don't know how to do this. They'll get you the grocery list, and they'll show you how to, you order, not from them, not from us. You order directly from these suppliers who 70% of what you're going to consume in the month. Unless you want to just then stay on your diet and lose. What are you losing? What are you losing on diets, everyone? Half a pound a week, a pound, 4 pounds a month. In the long run, my God, when they did a 12-month study analyzing all the major diets in 12 months, that people lost about 16 pounds in a year, and up to 40% of what they lost was lean muscle mass. Now, let's take a look at the shots. Woo, that's the big thing, GLP-1s. Not against them. They're helping diabetics. They're helping people morbidly obese. So don't let anybody tell you that I said I'm against the shots. I'm not. But let's look at the medical proof. This is the New England Journal of Medicine. You all can look it up. Semaglutide, 68 weeks. 68, that's a year and 4 months. What was the weight loss? 32 pounds. And right in this study, of the 32 pounds people lost in 68 weeks, 40% was lean muscle mass. So they lost 32 pounds in 68 weeks. I don't think Curtis got the memo, did he? Oh my God, he lost 40 pounds, but in a month. I mean, do you see? And this is all natural. Which one would you choose, given the choice? Now, if you're diabetic, you need the shots. If you're morbidly obese and it's the only way you can do it, go for it. But here's the sad part. Every one of these people in the shots, they're losing lean muscle mass. Not up for debate. They do these DEX scans. They do really sophisticated analysis, and every person is losing lean muscle. Every person who's coming off the shots is gaining as much as a half a pound a day. Because what do the shots do? They slow down the food moving through your digestive tract. So you're consuming less food. But what else are you consuming less of? Nutrition. What does your body do? Stops using energy in your fat cells and turns to muscle. Proven. Listen, this is not an opinion. It's right in the study. You can go and look at it. It's in the public domain. Believe whatever the heck you want. Follow any of these influences. The people in here giving me their opinions. But we're now at a point, we're at a crisis. When Johns Hopkins Medical School is saying study predicts obesity apocalypse, by 2030, 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. Do you think it's time that maybe we reevaluate things like thermodynamics, which is, calories in, calories out? It doesn't work. And anyway, that doesn't even apply to human beings. It's just so silly. But almost all of you, what are you going to do? You're going to stay on your diet even after this podcast, because it's just so hard for you to wrap your mind around it. But you can go see the medical proof for free. We won't even contact you. If you go to that website, we won't contact you unless you contact us. I'm going to show everybody the website so you know I'm not making it up. Look at this. Here's the website. Wait a minute. There's the website. There's nothing on there to buy. All these 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're either video interviews or explanations. What did they do in more detail? But the number 4, you can go and look at the more pictures, but people lost 100 pounds with no loose skin. Oh, we photoshopped it. No, we didn't. We don't have to do tricks on you. I understand that I'm causing huge skepticism in all of you. And for any of you that, look, we can have a civil discussion. You can disagree with me, that's fine. But you better have peer-reviewed human trial studies to back up what you're claiming. Because the peer-reviewed studies here's an athlete. So it's not a weight loss program, because we have kids as young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 91. We have a man with a heart transplant. We have people with no thyroids, people with no gallbladders. We have people with kidney transplants. And we're not treating, curing, diagnosing, or making any medical proclamations whatsoever. Don't hear that. Look at this, everyone. This is an athlete. That's actually 11 days. So day 1, and then the morning of day 5, 4 days into it, and then the morning of day 12, 11 days. Look at that. Look at that in 11 days. Come on. For any of you people going to the gym, and even the people in really good shape, that transformation in 11 days, really? Now you could say, oh, we made it up and we photoshopped it. I happen to know this person. That's my youngest son. Yep. So again, wow. Somebody said I was skeptical too 20 plus years ago. So glad I looked into it, as it has changed my life for better. Now, whoever this person is, so you're telling me you've been able to maintain the weight loss for 20 years. Put a yes or no so everybody can see that. I'm exercise as I watch you. Great, Leslie. Leslie, if you misheard me or didn't hear me, so what do you do then? I'll tell you. How do we get started? I was skeptical. Okay, so how you get started, let me come back and then I'll say, they're not, first of all, you heard me wrong. The researchers are not against exercise, okay? In the studies, though, what they had to do, Leslie, they didn't let anybody exercise. And the reason for that, they wanted to see what would this protocol do just on its own. Do you know that the men and women in this lost as much weight in a month as people lose in a year? They lost no water weight, and they gained 6 to 9% lean muscle. My God, look at the transformations. Look at her stomach area. That's 30 days. No sit-ups, no Pilates, no anything. So imagine if you're exercising, what would happen. That's why I just showed you that picture of my son. When you exercise, oh my God, it's crazy what happens. They're not against exercise. They've worked with Navy SEALs and Green Berets and Olympians and NFL football players and CrossFit people and triathletes and marathoners. They're not against exercise. But imagine if people are producing these results with no exercise. If you're exercising, Leslie, can you imagine what's going to happen? It's pretty exciting. Again, so for the people that want to know more about it, you can go to the New Health Conversation. And notice right above in green, it says free coaching. So if you like what you see, excuse me, you can scroll down and you get a free coach. They'll go over everything with you. They don't sell you anything. You'll get a food list from them. You'll get the blueprint for success. They'll show you how to order these 5 food groups from around the world from the supply. And then they'll coach you the whole time through, because here's the key to this whole thing. It's not about the weight loss. It's about maintenance. That's why it's called R2M, race to maintenance. That's the whole key behind the whole thing. The main reason to do this is not to lose weight. That's like a given. And that's evidenced by when you look at someone like Curtis. I mean, I know it's dramatic, 10 pounds a week, 52.5 inches from his neck to his ankle. But look at his blood work. You think that's happening on diets? In 30 days, his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, triglycerides from 242 to 124 in 30 days. In a month's time, people's hunger went down 41%. Cravings went down 40%. And for the first time ever, two things happened that have never been seen before. One, they measured inflammation, which I have, you have, everybody has. It went down 25% in a month. The medical community has now identified inflammation as the #1 underlying cause of every disease out there. So do you think lowering inflammation in your body would be a good thing? No diet has ever produced anything like that. The other and the main reason to do this is because you and I, well, I know about it, you didn't. You have a medical syndrome that has just been validated, a patent, not a patent, but a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. Here it is, it's called TDOS syndrome. Every one of you have it. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S is for stress. It's a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. Yeah, I discovered it, Peter Greenlaw, but that doesn't matter. The Patent Office doesn't give a hoot about me. When you get a registered trademark, they, especially in medicine, it took a couple of years to get it. They search the world. Is there anything similar? Because when you get the little R, it protects you your intellectual property, your research from other people. Now, what does it mean? It means that we're breathing, we're drinking, we're eating chemicals, whether you know it or not. As they enter our body, the body's taken the chemical, first presents it to the liver. Our livers are now so overwhelmed, they estimate 40% of you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You do, not from drinking alcohol. So once the liver can't handle the chemicals anymore, the body then takes the chemical and stuffs it in the fat cells. So the reduction in his stomach there you're seeing is the result, and they have the proof, I'll show you in a minute, that this is helping the body remove the chemicals from his fat cells, and they're shrinking. And you can see it there. That's why you can see that pretty dramatically in Julie. Look at her stomach area, how much it shrank. So what's happening is, think of the fat cell like a balloon. The chemical comes in like air in a balloon. And see, you don't burn fat. That's total nonsense. Sorry to tell you, Leslie, exercise produces no loss of fat at all. You're born with a certain amount of fat cells. Let's say you die with a certain amount of fat cells. Now they can expand or they can contract, but you don't burn them. That's just, it's not true from a scientific standpoint of view. So all these people telling you you're going on a diet to burn fat or you're exercising to burn fat, it's just not true, okay? Now you can shrink, and you can see what happened to her there. Or Kristen, you can see it, look at her stomach area. I mean, even look like, right below, look at the little pouch she had there, it's gone in 30 days with no exercise. Now, if she exercised, it would be even more. And we encourage people to exercise, of course, we're not stupid. But imagine if they did this without exercise. And the simplest exercise a lot of people do on this, they walk. That's it. Not that we're against the gym or cycling or swimming or whatever you're doing is fine. But the coaches go over that with you about, okay, when you first start, you want to moderate your workouts. You don't need to work out anywhere near as long and intense because this is so effective. And remember, with all that weight loss, she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass in a month with no exercise. So that's all I can tell you. So I was skeptical. Okay. No, seems believe my age, and that is fine with me. No, seems believe. I'm not quite sure what that means. No, seems believe my age, and that is fine with me. Anyway, you're saying you did. Oh, I did. She did answer for me. She said that she's been able to keep the weight off for 20 years. That's what everyone should be excited about. So again, for all of you, again, this is a free website. You can go. You see it in red, the New Health Conversation. What's there? Only the medical proof. If you go there, we won't contact you. There's no way for us to contact you. The only way we can contact you to get a free coach in green, you scroll down and give us permission to contact you. Or not. Or you can stay on your paleo, keto. I just like any of you to, how can I lose weight with PCOS and endometriosis? With this, we got tons of people with PCOS, endometriosis, all kinds of autoimmune immune challenges. And we're not curing, treating, diagnosing. Look, it's real simple. If you can give your body huge amounts of nutrition without huge amounts of food, your body is capable of doing amazing healing miracles. This protocol is not healing you. It's your own body. And endometriosis is a really big deal now. About 25 to 30% of all childbearing women have endometriosis. That's why the infertility specialists have become, if you're an infertility specialist, you're rich, because so many people are having trouble having children because of endometriosis, as you probably know. And I don't know if you're of childbearing age or not. That's none of my business. I'm just giving you the scientific facts. But again, we have nurses, we have medical doctors, we have all that are volunteering their time to coach you. So you could, if you fill out, if you go and you like what you see, fill out the form and say, hey, I would like some help with PCOS or with endometriosis, and we'll get you an appropriate coach that has dealt with people with that, or maybe they had the condition themselves. Look, nothing's 100%. And I should have told all of you this in the beginning. So 30% of what all you would consume in a month, you get a grocery list, you buy it from a grocery store. Organic, fats, carbs, proteins, salads, fruits, etc. Okay? And instead of calorie counts, they gave you serving sizes. The other 70% of the food you consume, you can't buy at your local grocery store. It comes from other suppliers, not the ones who invented this, not from us, not from the coaches. You buy directly from the suppliers. 5 foods that come from Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, that represent huge amounts of nutrition, but not huge amounts of quantity of food. That's what they did. And then we teach you 2 new ways of consuming food that 5 days a week. As you get to your goals, by the way, this isn't forever because it's called R2M, race to maintenance. Maintenance is a whole different thing. It's the only reason to do this is to get to maintenance. But in the meantime, 5 days a week, let me go to Kristen for a moment. So she had 4 meals a day, starting with these 5 foods from around the world, lunch from a grocery store list that she got, dinner from the grocery store list, and a 4th meal after dinner, the world's most perfect meal. 2 days, that's 5 days a week, 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating. In those days, no food from the grocery store, only these 5 foods from around the world. But on those days, she was eating 8 times a day, 8. So about every hour and a half to 2 hours, she was eating only these foods from around the world, no food from the grocery store. So she was getting all the nutrition that she needed, but not in a lot of quantity. That was the key to it. It's be like today, if you could go and buy gas and go 20 miles to the gallon, pump number 1, and pump number 2 says, this gallon will take you 100 miles. Which one would you choose? That's what we're talking about here. That's what these researchers did for us. They figured it out. Now, how simple is maintenance? Every morning breakfast, the world's most perfect meal, and then maybe every couple months do another 48-hour intermittent nutritional fast, not even so much to lose weight anymore, but to assist your body in removing the toxins we're storing. Did you all see the thing 3 weeks ago where they're now finding microplastics in our brain, in our brain and in our coronary arteries? We're storing herbicides and pesticides. No diet up until now has ever shown any indication of removing any toxins. In these studies that they did blood, stool, urine, fat analysis, and proved that this was assisting the body in removing chemicals from you. Do you think that's a good idea? No diet has ever produced a gram of toxin leaving the body. So the main reason to do this, the weight loss is almost like a throw-in for us. You could see the pictures. Julie, and then this is the daughter of a friend of mine. I know her. How about 60 pounds in 3 months, everybody? 60. But look at the change in her body, proving that fat is shrinking. Look at it. Look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her stomach. I know you think it's Photoshopped. It's not Photoshopped. Does this make sense to everybody? Look at that. And then let's go to, this is an older gentleman. Look at his stomach. You think he's holding that in? I guess you could. We don't have to make up things. What's so great about what we do, we have the medical proof that you get to see if you go to the website. But how about 52 inches from his neck to his ankles? Look at how much he lost in his waist, his abdomen, and his stomach. That's because the fat cell acts like a balloon. When the chemical gets injected in the fat cell expands. You remove the chemical, the fat cell shrinks. Look at what happens. It's just, and then for athletes, look at this in 11 days. Day 1, pretty good shape. But 4 days later, look at the stomach area. And then 11 days later, on the morning of day 12, look at that transformation. Oh, that's Photoshop. No, it's not. I actually know this person. It's my youngest son. How's that looking to you? Do you think we Photoshop that? I would Photoshop. I guess you could think anything in this world today. The thing we can't fake are peer-reviewed human trial medical studies. They're in the public domain, meaning anybody can go look at them. But we've provided them on the website. You go, you get to see the medical studies. And we don't touch you. We don't call you. We don't interfere with you. We let you see the medical proof. And if you like what you see, scroll down and get a free coach. What am I missing here? What am I not doing for all of you? What are we not providing? So Olivia, so we got lots of people. So Kerr, you can do it. She's saying you can do it. I need help big time. Okay, Shanta. So Shanta, just give me a yes, Shanta, if you would. Do you see the website in red above my head? My finger's pointing up there. Right up, see where it says presented by Peter Greenlaw? Right above that, the new health conversation. So Shanta, step one, go there. Look at the medical proof. If you like what you see, scroll down and you get a free coach. We're not going to contact you if you just go to the website. We don't do that. We want you to be totally free of, harassment or sales. We're not doing that. We're not here to convince you. We're not here to sell you. We're here to educate you. But Shanta, when you say I really need help, if you don't mind sharing with us, or me, or us, I guess everybody, how much weight would you like to lose? And I'd love to know, have you tried pretty much everything and they've all failed you and you're not having any success long term, which is the only thing that matters? Because, Shanta, how excited would you be if you could do even just this? How excited would you be, Shannon, if you could lose 5 pounds a week, 20 pounds in a month? How much would that incentivize you to continue? Is that a good question? So Shanta, I'd love for you to answer if you want to. And Shanta, yeah, you've seen it, the new health conversation. That's the website. You've got it. Good. I'm really glad you've got it. And if you like what you see, then get a coach. Because we will not contact anybody that goes there. We don't need to do that to any of you. If this is as good as I'm saying, we don't need to hype it up. Although it probably looks like I'm hyping. I'm excited for all of you. For me, I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks. 23 years ago, Shanta. I've kept it off for 23 years. That's what should excite you. This is not about losing the weight. That picture you're looking at there, it's about 9 years old. She's kept the weight off now for 9 years. All these people have, whether it's Julie or whether it's Curtis or whether Andy, 45 pounds and 60 inches in a month. But look at his medical. His A1C 7.9 to 6.2, LDL cholesterol 120 to 59 in 30 days. Are you kidding me? We're not kidding you. It's real. So again, there's the website for all of you to go to, the new health conversation. So I hope all of you will do that. Now today it's Saturday, it's the 3rd of May. This is live, obviously it's not pre-recorded today, so let's see, 11:30, 12:30. So I'll probably come on and do another live. I'm going to do at least a couple more today, but the next one I'll probably do is around, just to be safe, let's see, say around between 12:30 and 1 Eastern time. But any of your friends that you want to send to the website, they don't have to be on my podcast. It's free to go there. This is open to the world. We're proud of our work. We're proud of what we're doing, okay? Wow, her tinfoil hat sent me a rose. Thank you so much. Kerr sent me a rose. Coalin sent me a rose. So Shanta, I hope you will go there, because it's a lot more than just losing weight. You could see the medical proof that, in Curtis's case, look at his A1C from 8.4 to 6.4, his triglycerides 242 to 124. The main reason to do this is not to lose weight. That's a given. The main reason to do it is to improve your health, but also for us to show you how to maintain your success for the rest of your life. That's what's called R2M, race to maintenance. Okay? So we got some more hearts going. Thank you all very, very much for tapping on the screen. Would anybody else like to ask me a question? I'm going to wrap this up in about 4 or 5 minutes, unless somebody has a more, a question. Would anybody else like to ask me a question? Or not? You don't have to. The main thing I want to leave all of you with is do yourself a favor and go to the website and look at the medical proof. There's an interview with the #1, not me, but the #1 weight loss nutrition physiologist in the world, and he'll tell you they'll never recommend any traditional diet any of you are on again. They did 40 years, 100 studies of all these diets and realized none of them work long term, none. And the sad part of it is 2/3 of you that are on diets right now, not only are you going to go back to the weight you were when you started, but 2/3 of you are going to weigh more than when you started. That's the sad reality. Even Medicare is saying that. That's not us saying that. I mean, again, let me read to you from the Medicare study, just so you know. I don't make up things. I just have to find the study. I have too much. Oh, here it is. Now, this is from Medicare for all of you. Just listen carefully. I've added my details on the website you mentioned. Great, great. So Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. This is Medicare. Our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted diets, calories in, calories out, to assess whether dieting is an effective treatment for obesity. The studies show that 2/3 of dieters regain more weight than they lost on their diets. This is Medicare saying this. This isn't us to sensationalize it. See, that's the thing with all the senators and the critics and the people monitoring what I'm saying. We're only reading from the medical proof. This is not our opinion. We're not making claims. We're reading from it. And they said in the Medicare, in summary, there is little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you all doing? Seriously, what are you all doing? Why are you doing it? Why do you think somehow that keto or paleo or Mediterranean or Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or Nutrisystem are going to allow you to not gain back all? You're going to lose some weight on those diets. We're not arguing that. But what's the point? The point to do it, to go through all that agony, to come back to where you were, 2/3 of you are going to weigh more than what you do now. Medicare saying that, not us. I mean, it's sad. We're trying to educate you. We're trying to give you a path out of that horrible trap, that spinning wheel. The faster you run, you're still in the same spot or worse. Now you're falling behind. We'd love for you to have an opportunity to steer the rest of your life. Kerr, I promise we'll get, you'll probably get, you may even get contacted today. I'm not quite sure how busy we are. We have a limited number of coaches, but no more. If you don't hear from us by tomorrow, then reach out again. But more than likely, you'll definitely get contacted in the next 24 hours. Any of you, right? So in closing, would anybody else likes to ask one last question? This has been an hour podcast. I'm excited about it. I think there's some people that we probably have changed their opinions. But go there and do your own investigation. Don't believe us. We're providing you the proof. You decide if you like what you see, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to end this now, and then I'll come back on again between 12:30 and 1 Eastern Time. This is May 3rd, Saturday, just to be clear. Invite some of your friends. Go to my TikTok site, The New Health Conversation. The New Health Conversation, okay? Thank you, everybody.